Hello, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us on TCM. We are dispensing with the family films and bringing you intrigue, suspense, and murder for the rest of the night and well into tomorrow. It's a 24-hour Alfred Hitchcock marathon. We begin with two of Hitch's favorite actors, Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, in one of Hitchcock's best pictures from 1954, Rear Window. Stewart plays a professional photographer with a badly broken leg. He is stuck in his New York apartment with nothing to do but sit in a wheelchair and watch his neighbors through the window. Watch them closely. Voyeurism certainly intrigued Hitchcock. It shows up in his movies in a few ways, never though more front and center than Rear Window. And here he turns Stewart's voyeurism into a story of murder. Or is it something else? Stewart enlists his girlfriend to assist him as he watches his neighbors through their windows and his binoculars. She's a kind, helpful girlfriend, and she is played by Grace Kelly, making her second appearance in a Hitchcock picture. Kelly starred in Dial M for Murder, which hit theaters in May of 1954. Rear Window came out less than 4 months later. And the next year, she co-starred with Cary Grant in To Catch a Thief, her final movie for Hitchcock, though he came very close to getting her out of retirement to play the title character in Marnie. To credibly create a set allowing Stewart to look through his window at his neighbors in a building across a courtyard, Paramount constructed a huge set which included 31 full-scale apartments, many of them fully furnished. It was an incredibly ambitious undertaking that proved well worth the effort. Rear Window earned 4 Oscar nominations, including 1 for Hitchcock. From 1954, also with Thelma Ritter and Raymond Burr. This is Rear Window. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to TCM. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. We are one movie into a 24-hour marathon of films directed by Alfred Hitchcock, which actually might make sense. There is a great photo of Hitchcock posing with his Thanksgiving turkey in 1956. And even better, he made an extended trailer for The Birds, his 1963 film. He called the trailer a lecture, and it includes Hitch making a pointed Thanksgiving observation. I'll have more on that when I introduce The Birds, which we'll have in a couple hours. Up next, though, from 1956, Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day star in The Man Who Knew Too Much. It's the story of an ordinary couple on vacation in Morocco with their young son, and then it turns into a Hitchcock picture when Stewart accidentally stumbles onto some coveted information he is not supposed to have. The Man Who Knew Too Much is a remake of a film Hitchcock made 22 years earlier in 1934. He was still directing in England then, working with smaller budgets. 2 decades later, Hitchcock believed he could improve on the original. There is some debate over which is better, though I have the definitive resolution to that. They're both really good. Hitchcock didn't have any doubt. French director Francois Truffaut asked him about making 2 versions of The Man Who Knew Too Much. Let's just say the first version was the work of a talented amateur, Hitchcock said, and the second version was made by a professional. Certainly, the second version is the more polished production, and it had far bigger stars. In 1934, Leslie Banks and Edna Best play the couple forced into extraordinary circumstances, though it does have Peter Lorre as the primary villain. This version, as I mentioned, has Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day, and moreover, it's the only Hitchcock picture to prominently feature a song. Doris Day singing Que Sera Sera. Jay Livingston and Ray Evans won an Oscar for the song, which became Day's signature song for the rest of her career. From Paramount Pictures in 1956, this is Hitchcock's second crack at The Man Who Knew Too Much. Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM. Thanks for joining us as we head into the third movie of our 24-hour Alfred Hitchcock marathon. Up next, from 1963, newcomer Tippi Hedren heads a cast that includes Rod Taylor, Suzanne Pleshette, and Jessica Tandy in The Birds. The posters boldly announce Hedren's Hollywood arrival. She's featured screaming as she fights off attacking birds. And then at the end of the cast list, it reads, introducing Tippi Hedren, with a glamour shot of her with a fascinating new personality written below. Now, you may be asking, why did we kick off a 24-hour marathon of Hitchcock movies on Thanksgiving? I believe I've uncovered the answer. Alfred Hitchcock loved Thanksgiving. Actually, I have no idea if that's true, but there is a bit of evidence to support it. First, there's a great photo of Hitchcock grinning as he pokes his head out from behind his 1956 Thanksgiving turkey. But that is nothing in comparison to this. Hitchcock made an extended trailer for The Birds where he addresses the camera. He called it a lecture. It is a great example of the wit and personality that audiences responded to on television when Hitchcock's show premiered in 1955. In the lecture/trailer, Hitchcock takes us through the history of man's relationship with birds. He suggests it's been defined by centuries of respect. They're so fast, he says, that to shoot them, we had to invent the shotgun. And then he points out that, quoting now, we've honored our feathered friends in many ways. We cage birds and show them off proudly in most of our zoos. Then Hitch smiles knowingly at the camera and says, and the turkey is our traditional guest of honor at Thanksgiving. In The Birds, Tippi Hedren plays Melanie Daniels. She comes to Bodega Bay, a California coastal town, to see a handsome lawyer played by Rod Taylor. Not long after her arrival, flocks of birds enter the picture and turn the movie into a Hitchcock film. The Birds was Hitchcock's follow-up to his most successful film, Psycho, released 3 years earlier. Naturally, Hitchcock wanted to keep the hits coming, so turning over the lead role in The Birds to a newcomer was no small event. Hitchcock spotted Hedren in a diet drink commercial on the Today Show and thought she would be a perfect Hitchcock blonde. He was right, but because she was new to movies, he had to put her through multiple meetings and a screen test. She got the part. She says it came at a steep price. More on that after the movie. There is no doubt they made a great film together. Here it is from 1963, The Birds.